Someone recently estimated that around 11,000 new AI agents are being created every single day. At that pace, we could see over 1 million new agents deployed this year. So the odds are good that soon you'll be asked to build agents or to orchestrate a complex workflow using them. In this whiteboard, we'll break down how that actually works and prove it with a real example, getting a team of agents to build a sales quote. Here's the good news. Orchestrating workflows with agents isn't a total reinvention. In many ways, it's an extension of the frameworks and tools that developers already know. Agent orchestration slots into your existing tech stack, so you don't start from zero, you build on what you already understand. The big new piece is the large language model. Because these models are trained on massive amounts of text, they genuinely understand human language. And that language ability opens up a whole new kind of logic we can automate. Tasks that were too fuzzy or too unstructured for old automation suddenly become possible. That's the ingredient we're pulling into the design. First, an important distinction: assistants versus agents. They're similar, but not the same. An assistant works in a prompt and response loop. You ask a question, it gives an answer, then it waits. An agent is different. You give it a goal, and it delivers an outcome. The key word is agency. Agency means the software can take action on its own, at its own discretion, within the boundaries you set. That's the leap. There are a lot of new buzzwords flying around: small language models, large language models, constrained models, and dozens of design choices. But keep one thing in mind. At the end of the day, this is still software. Experienced engineers can walk in with confidence. Your best practices and past project experience still apply. And most developers find they make progress fast and have some fun doing it. Now, the question that started all of this. A friend asked, isn't an orchestration layer really just robotic process automation, RPA, with a language model bolted on? It's a fair challenge, and the best way to answer it is to actually work an example. So let's take one business process and build it 2 ways, the old way and the new way. Here's our example. The goal we put in is create a customer quote. The outcome we want out is a real commercial quote our sales team can send without upsetting finance, product, or legal. To get there, the process runs left to right through 3 systems: a CRM that knows the customer, a product catalog of what we can sell, and a finance and legal system for pricing and terms. Let's try it the old way, with RPA. RPA reaches into each system through an API, and it only works with tightly structured data. Think fixed tables and key value pairs. It also needs explicit triggers, but that's exactly where it struggles. How does a rigid script know when it's even time to create a quote? Unless that trigger is spelled out perfectly, the whole thing gets brittle fast. Now the new way, orchestration. The beautiful thing about agents is that you can have many of them working together. So instead of one big script, we build a small army of narrow agents. Each one is kept tightly scoped with a really tight job story. Because we're giving them agency, we don't want them wandering off. Narrow scope is what keeps them on the rails. To let the agents talk to those systems, each one is wrapped as an MCP server using the Model Context Protocol. The CRM becomes an MCP server, the catalog becomes one, finance and legal become one. It's still a client-server setup, so the overall architecture barely changes. But now every system speaks one common protocol, and any agent can plug in and use it. Sitting on top is a master agent, sometimes called the captain. The orchestration layer uses it to delegate pieces of the process to the smaller agents and to hold the shared context, the story so far, as it grows. So the master agent breaks the goal into parts, hands each part to a specialist, and keeps track of everything they discover along the way. Now watch the whole team work, left to right. A pair of agents handles the CRM, another pair handles the product catalog, a third pair handles finance and legal, and a final agent assembles the result. 7 narrow agents in total, each doing one job well, while the context, the story, grows at every step until it becomes a finished quote. Let's walk through each stage. Stage 1, the CRM. Agent 1 is the evaluator. Its whole job is to spot the moment, to recognize that yes, this is the point in the sales process where we need a quote. Then Agent 2 is the grabber. It pulls the customer's name and address and reads the documents attached to the deal to see what products were discussed. That result gets checkpointed as context, and those two agents are released. Stage 2, the product catalog. Agent 3 reads what Stage 1 found and builds a list of product SKUs that satisfy the customer's needs. Then Agent 4 navigates the catalog to check that list. Do these items work together? Can they actually ship together? Do they fit our commercial and sales goals? This is richer logic than old automation could ever handle. Stage 3, finance and legal, on data that those teams have already vetted. Agent 5 takes the SKU list and prices it, inferring quantities as it goes. Agent 6 reads the legal catalog and pulls the right terms and conditions. Now the context holds everything: the customer, the products, the price, and the terms. Finally, Agent 7 takes all of it and assembles a clean, well-formatted quote everyone will be happy with. Goal met. Notice the real job of the orchestration layer. It isn't doing the work itself, it's conducting. It hands each stage to a fresh pair of agents, caches what they find as shared context, then releases them and calls in the next pair. Customer info, then products, then pricing and terms. The story accumulates until the quote basically writes itself. So let's settle the debate. RPA follows one rigid, scripted path, works only with structured data, needs explicit triggers, and breaks when a step is fuzzy. Orchestration brings language and reasoning, uses many small agents, reads context and handles ambiguity, and lets a master agent delegate. RPA is an incremental step. Orchestration is a different category entirely. Here's the takeaway. Both approaches aim to automate low-value tasks, so your team can focus on the high-value goal. In our example, winning revenue. But once you see the richness of what agents plus orchestration can do, compared to RPA, this isn't just an incremental step forward, it's a genuine paradigm shift in what's possible. If you're going to build one, here's the playbook. Start from a clear goal and one tight job story. Break it into many narrow agents, never one agent that tries to do everything. Wrap each system as an MCP server. Put a master agent in charge to delegate and hold context. And set firm boundaries, because agency without guardrails is how agents go off the rails. Quick recap. Assistants respond to prompts. Agents pursue goals with agency. An orchestration layer coordinates a team of narrow agents, each talking to systems through MCP, while a master agent delegates and holds the growing context. We proved it by building a customer quote with 7 agents. And compared to old RPA, that's not a small upgrade. It's a paradigm shift. That's how AI agents orchestrate complex workflows. Design the goal, keep each agent narrow, wrap your systems in MCP, and let the orchestration layer hold the story. If this made it click, give it a like and subscribe for more clear, practical breakdowns. Thanks for watching.